Good evening, Algappan. How are you?
Good evening, Count. I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. What a crazy game yesterday.
It was. I mean, I thought at least after Starnes was dismissed and the next ball, KL was dismissed, there was no way in hell that Lucknow could chase it down. That's what I thought. But then strange things happen.
Yeah, I was just thinking a little bit deeper into what better RCB could have won because the Chinnaswamy tragedy continues, unfortunately. It also makes one wonder, during the World Cup, if India get a Chinnaswamy game and if we get a Chinnaswamy game, hopefully we are not up against a team that can smash out our bowlers because any score is chaseable.
Yeah,
So
Chinnaswamy basically needs extraordinary bowlers. I've seen over the years the bowlers that have succeeded there. I mean, still remember one of those spells from Cummins for at the venue when he was in his early days for New South Wales. I guess it was a Champions League game. It was outrageous spell of bowling, fast bowling at that venue, and that's what Markwood did yesterday as well. Even though he didn't get as many wickets to bowl 4 overs for that many runs, and in fact at a point he bowled a maiden at Maxwell. That's how good he was. Maybe the wickets column didn't show it yesterday.
exactly, Maiden is a good point you make, and also the last over. If it had been any other bowler like
Mm,
Avesh Khan,
mm.
Maxwell could get him on the square of the wicket like this, right? He
Yeah,
just
yeah.
could get in a position and then he could do that. And because
Mm,
he's expecting that the square size of the boundary will take the ball, and eventually it went about 80 odd meters.
yeah.
But as a batsman, you were kind of playing in a safe zone. You wouldn't take a markwood like that,
Mm,
right? So, for example, and that's why he went for 15 runs lesser than any other bowler in the last over, right?
yeah.
Maxwell hit him for a six, but
Mm,
eventually the very next ball, it just crashed
mm,
into his stems. If it
yeah.
had been
I
any
think.
other bowler, Maxwell would have hit him for another six and for another six and for another six. So they would have ended up with 15 more runs that could
Yeah.
have saved the day for RCB, you know.
In fact, we were talking about this in a pre-game show yesterday as well of the importance of Maxwell on a venue like this is much more dangerous. Dangerous at Chinnaswamy, the smaller dimensions. Even if you're a bowler that who could bounce him out, the top edges fly for six at this venue. And maybe KL could have KL erred in one thing, I guess, because he introduced Amit Mishra later. It was okay at Lucknow because Amit Mishra can also be used at the death. They basically that's what they did at Lucknow. Even though they introduced him around the 12th over, they just bowled 4 overs straight. But that's something you cannot do at Chinnaswamy, and it was evident after the second over. It was only 1 over, and he got hit. Despite he bowled decently actually, but even those a couple of hits forced KL Rahul to take him away from the attack. Maybe if he had been introduced early around the seventh over, they could have got an extra over from him, and Unadkat need not have bowled the second over that gave away 22 runs or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. And but given Maxwell was in, they could not bowl Amit Mishra anymore because I think Fab du Plessis hit him out of the ground or something like that.
Yeah.
So by then they had
It,
picked his length, and it's
hmm.
just then swirling in the using the depth of the crease, swirling this way another way, and then just talking it all parts of the ground.
Yeah.
Uh, and this is where I guess we're going to talk about David Warner later. Strike rate. Kohli scored 42 runs in the power play,
Hmm.
and then the next two overs, sixth and the seventh over, this happened. One
Hmm.
from Ravi Bishnoi
Hmm.
and the second over from Kunal Pandya. The Kunal Pandya actually bowls at a pace where the batsmen like Kohli like it, right? He's a quicker left-arm pacer, and he bowls a lot more length balls than full length balls, and he bowls a lot more short of good length balls. You could kind of do the same swiveling in the crease, and those two overs would have gone for at least 10 more runs each
Hmm.
because this really dropped Kohli's strike rate to under 140,
Yeah.
and
I,
you don't want
that,
that in Chinnaswamy.
hmm. That I thought was one of the better knocks from Kohli of late because I've seen knocks where all he does is knock around spinners to singles. So in this game, at least he tried to take down Kunal Pandya, but I think still the limitations of his skill set came into play, I guess, yesterday.
Yeah, and also an opener who has a higher strike rate during the power play, but when he gets out at a lower strike rate. Somehow damages the team's total ultimately.
Mm.
So again, looking at their bowling, Siraj had, was brilliant, right? So Kyle Myers really had issues handling his pace.
Yeah.
So that would kind of make Lucknow look at QDK as an option for the next game because QDK likes pace.
He does, yeah. This is something that we had highlighted in our preview pack as well yesterday because Siraj and both Siraj, Willie are good bowlers to left-handers, and that's what happened versus Mayers yesterday. And even the bowler that they got in Wayne Parnell is a decent bowler. Is better against left-handers than right-handers in the power play. So it's like the bowling attack that they have does well against left-handers.
Yeah. And what Stoinis and Puran did yesterday, that was what was expected out of them to do against Chennai and Chepak because
Yeah,
of,
especially Puran. I think he was close to doing that as well. I do not remember correctly, but this was one. But I think Puran was close to doing that against Chennai as well.
yeah. But I'm seeing the 30 odd runs in a similar strike rate to convert to 60 odd runs could happen because of, again, we did not have those three spinners, right? We had Santner, and Moeen Ali and Jadeja was sparingly used. But in this case, they just used this guy just for 1 over, Shabazz Ahmed, and Karan Sharma's 3 overs went for 48 runs.
Yeah.
Compared to the 10 overs, Lucknow bowled at RCB went for 90 runs. So a 15 strike rate against slow bowlers versus a 9 strike rate, I mean economy rate. Again,
Yeah.
these are the differences between these two teams,
Yeah.
which made,
Difference in the quality of spinners, Bishnoi. I mean, till he was taken down in the last over, he's really good.
yeah. Yeah, so anyways, looks like man-cutting is an art. Ashal Patel has to get trained in it if he wants to successfully
I mean,
execute.
all these years, I mean, watching Ravichandran Ashwin regularly do that, I thought it was easy. But now I'm watching other bowlers attempt the same. The way they're failing at it, it seems like Ashwin has really mastered the art of marketing.
Yeah. I mean, Ashwin has that, he kind of slows down after he has the hand movement, and there's an extra moment he takes, and then before he releases the ball. And I think that naturally gives him that time compared to a fast bowler. I don't know, even if you watch Kapil Dev mancating Peter Kirsten, 91-92 game, it's not one of the prettiest sights, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, that's what happened to Ashal Patel, at least Kapil
In
Dev
fact, I
didn't
mean,
listen.
when you're talking about this, I remember a BBL game where Zampa attempted the same, and he didn't know how to do it right, and it was given not out, and the entire game turned on its head. And Zampa was like, he felt he's really I mean, he's really broken. That's how bad he looked for the remainder of the game. That's the sort of impact it has when you attempt a mankad and it doesn't go right. And it's sort of the bowler that he attempted that came out in the second innings and picked up three or five, three wicket all or 4 wicket all or something. So it's kind of had a huge impact on the game.
So again, one of those pace bowlers who can Mankat, could, and because Courtney Walsh was one of them because he had that action where he stopped before he released the ball. And then in the 87 World Cup game against Pakistan, he had a chance to Mankat Abdul Qadir, and he didn't do it. And Abdul Qadir kind of smashed some 18 runs of 3 balls or 4 balls and got Pakistan victory. So there's a lot of different things and different bowlers, the way they attempt Mankad and then way they ultimately execute or not can be a chat show by itself. So not to dwell more on that and jumping straight into today's game. So Delhi again, you spoke about in your note as well, the match pack for the day. The quality, I mean the qualities of the deck has changed compared to the kind of Delhi pitch we have seen in the past. So as the space is better, is what the takeaway is.
It is, yeah. I mean, the pitch had an unusual amount of grass, and then as soon as Shami bowled the first over, we immediately know that both the fantasy team we had gone in with, and the theories that we had in mind were out of the park because it is completely different. The ball had good bounce; it was moving left and right, and actually Warner was lucky to actually survive that spell of new ball bowling and score 37 runs in the innings today. And based on what he said after the game, that this is what they expect for the rest of the season, and they'll need need to learn to be patient in the first 6 overs before trying to do anything fancy. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same nature of the deck that's repeated today.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what Warner is expecting to face, and he's got Antic Nokia to use and extract the value out of these conditions, but not much of a backup for Antic Nokia. If he had another second line strong bowler, and then using Nokia just for one over spells, probably would change the nature of the attack Delhi has.
I think this is something that they'll be missing Khalil Ahmed badly today, even though he didn't do well yesterday. The ball that he got Hardik Pandya with showed his quality of what we can do and what he can do. And this is something he did in the last season as well. He's exceptional with the new ball, and he seems to have some niggle today, so they'll be missing him. So it will be up to Mukesh Kumar and Chetan Sakaria to do the role. And Mukesh Kumar, at his best, is capable of doing what it takes to succeed on this deck. He's a good length bowler, moves in and out, and that works really well on this deck. And also you have Chetan Sakaria, who has a decent new ball record as well. So these two bowlers have to step up today if DC have to dominate this game.
Yeah, they're going to miss the services of Mitchell Marsh as well. I heard he's gone back for his wedding to
Yeah.
Australia. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Mukesh Kumar and Sakaria support Henrik Nokia on this deck. So, do you think if Warner wins the toss, so the deck doing so much for Pacers, he would want to bowl first when the pitch is at its warmest best?
Absolutely. I mean, you wouldn't want to bat first on this deck because one thing is the assistance, and the second, the confusion over what to set on a deck like this. It's better off having the opposition set what is required for you, so that you can plan your innings in a better way. For example, if the opposition gets all out for 130 or 140 batting first, then it becomes easier for you to decide how you're going to construct the innings. You can basically dead bat the first 6 overs, wait for the new ball to die down, and score 120 of the last 14 overs. That's how good the deck can be with the whole ball. So you wouldn't want to really bat first on this deck.
And I don't know if Archer is fit enough to play again, but your note says he's better bowler to left-handers, and DC has four left-handers in their batting lineup.
Yeah. Archer, Steve Bonds, that also helps. And there were two of these batters. I think Rossa really struggles against hard lengths. That's one thing, and Akshar Patel can also be bounced out. So that is something that could come in handy for Mumbai today. They'll be hoping that they can have Jofra Archer available for this game.
Yeah, and Maharendorf, he didn't bowl to bag me. He picked up a wicket. I think of it as a good wicket that he picked up in the last game. But other than that, Mumbai really does not have any further pace to extract value out of
Yeah.
today's pitch.
Yeah, that's a problem for them. That has been the problem with the recruitment in the last couple of years, basically. So what we are expecting today is there is a chance that Sandeep Parir could make his debut. He's a very handy seam bowler, and on conditions like this, he could really have an impact. So that's something I'm basically looking forward to see Warrior getting a cap today.
So, but it definitely looks like from a composition of the IPL teams going forward, depending on whether they play in Chennai or on a deck like Delhi, uh, they need one express pace bowler. They need three other bowlers like with the left right pace combination who can complement that express pace like Mark Wood or Antic Nokia. And then you also need three good spinners, right? One left arm spinner, one wrist spinner, and an off spinner who each one will be as good as the other, in terms of team to team comparison. So these seven bowlers are must haves
Yeah,
if IPL team had to do well in both home and away games.
yeah,
Uh, so I mean, and this is the strategy. I don't know. It's lot. It doesn't sound like it's a rocket science or something. Rocket science or something. But when the team, I mean, franchise owners, they go to the dynamics of a auction table, I think things change. Ultimately, they end up picking a superstar player like Bangalore did that with Yuvraj Singh, with Chris Gayle, right? They bought them for such expensive prices. Those kind of unwanted decisions ultimately hurts the franchise, the team's chances during an IPL.
Yeah, I mean that is something. Having done what we have in the last 4 months, or covers of the analytics, the distance that we have gone to the deep end with analytics, that's something that we have understood ourselves as well. Because the importance of having a left arm seamer in your 11, the whole dynamics changes if you have a left arm. So there are several opening batters who have a marked weakness against left arm pace. Either you could do nothing against them with right arm pace, even if it moves or it doesn't bounces, it doesn't matter at all. But as soon as you have a left arm pace, things change completely. So I think that's something. If you're going to build a team, if you're going to sit on an auction table, or if you're going to sit on a draft table, one of the first things that you should do is seal a left arm quality, left arm quick.
But there is definitely, as a cricket fan, excited at the prospect that ultimately every team can have a bolt, one bolt, and a bowler like a Mustafizur or Malinga, who is very, skillful with about 4 5 kind of different deliveries. So, ultimately, that's the message to the upcoming talent, right? So, if you have this good, then you have a place secured on an IPL team. So, that would motivate how at a grassroots level to how coaches train their cricket students, and what could come out of this demand. We could only hope to see more and more of brilliant talent coming through the system. So, going to today's sheet, again, you've spoken strongly about how constructing today's team should be of pace bowlers, pace bowling all rounders, and middle order batters. So, tell us more about why middle order batters.
I think because if the deck plays as we expect it to play, then the openers are gone in no time. Even the number threes, they won't last long. So you'll basically be having the 4, 5, and 6 scoring a lot of runs today, and that's where the problem also begins for this game, because you have Surya Kumar Yadav, who's not scoring a lot of runs, and Tim David, who has a problem against slow left arm off spin of Akshar Patel as well, in addition to Nokia's pace. So these are the problems that we'll be facing today. If you take DC, for example, Powell hasn't scored a lot. Riley Rossov, as if Jofra Archer plays, Riley Rossov has a huge threat on his back today. So these are the problems that we'll be facing with middle order batters as well. But if you have to choose between a top order batter and middle order batter today, this is a day to go with the middle order batter.
So definitely, yes, Tilak Kurma, no Sky, because Nokia could just come in and take Sky out, the form that currently Sky is in, and if
Mm.
Delhi strategically assist pacers, right? If
Yeah,
I'm saying
and
you,
all.
yeah, go ahead.
And also he struggles against left arm off spin as well. So Akshar Patel comes into play as well. So there are enough threats for the star middle order batters today. So this is what makes this as one of the trickiest games that we'll face the entire tournament.
So if I were to pick middle order batters from Mumbai, then I would rather pick Tilak Kurma and Tim David, because Tim
Mm.
David also has got an all-round fantasy value with his off spin.
Yeah, yeah, Tilakoma is a no-brainer today, because the only threat he has in the opposition is and Rich Nokia, and there is only so many batters he can bowl at, because we keep saying Nokia for every batter, but Nokia has only 24 balls, and he cannot target every batter with that.
And given, I don't know, based on whether Archer plays today or not, the middle order batter
Mm.
for Delhi could be as deep as Rohan Powell or Abhishek Porel, uh,
Yeah,
given their
I mean, the
vulnerable.
one advantage you have with Mumbai Indians is that they do not have a world class leg spinner as well, so that makes things easier for Roman Pavel. But I think the middle order batter that we're really looking at, hoping that after Archer doesn't play, if he doesn't play, then I think we'll be getting in Riley Rosso.
Yeah, could be an interesting game for Riley Russell. He's been, had an average series so far. I think got a duck in one of those games, and that's how
Yeah.
he was going in PSL as well. So he had a very lean start.
Mm,
SA 2020 again was a mixed bag for
mm,
him,
mm,
right? There were a few
mm,
ducks,
mm.
so were in PSL during the early stages, but the later half of PSL, something clicked in, and he had a few good innings.
Yeah, I we remember this was one of the matches that we did a preview for in the World Cup. South Africa versus Sri Lanka. What he did with the Sri Lanka and that at Sydney, he scored 100 or something. It was crazy. Knock and basically did nothing for the rest of the tournament. So that's the type of player Riley Rosso is.
Yeah, the previous game, I think they played Ireland or Netherlands. He got a duck.
Yeah.
when it comes to Sydney. I think the slowness of the track again, that's what he likes,
Yeah,
rather than a track where the ball comes on at hard lengths at him. He
exactly.
has a tendency to get it edged. So yeah, so I just want to use the next few minutes available and quickly go through the recent streak that Karsov has been on. So for the last games, 4 games, and these are the winnings, right? Talk to us a little bit more about how you guys are able to hit this level of consistency.
I think it is a part of the data that we have and the analytics. We have the right eye of the right kind of talents and using the numbers right way. For example, we don't look at power play as 1 to 6. For us, power play is 1 to 4 because that is when the new ball moves, and you'll have to understand which openers can survive 1 to 4 if the new ball moves. This is something we changed 4 months back, and that has caught on. That's caught on. I see a lot of people now looking at 1 to 4 as the new ball value and not 1 to 6, which previously it was. So that was something that we have had a huge impact on. And likewise, we have different filters than the conventional fantasy pundits do. We look at matchups in a different way. We hardly look at player versus player matchups because the smaller sample sizes do you no good at all. And the way we look at venue as well, that's something that has helped us a lot, and that's been a backbone of our success, our venue pack. So that's something that has helped us. And this is something we had a comparatively slower start to this tournament as compared to some of the tournaments we have had. The other tournaments we basically get off to a winning streak with a number of clean sweeps, but IPL wasn't that way. The first 5 games we had a couple of clean sweeps, and 6 to 9 we didn't have anything. We basically were at the wrong end of every single one of the games, and this is on the back of those. This is between 10 and 13, 10 and 14. I guess this comeback was on the after the stretch of lean games. So this was because of the better understanding of the decks we had after the first round. Between 10 and 14, we now had an improved understanding of the decks, improved understanding of players and everything, and that has basically resulted in these numbers.
Yeah, I get that with IPL coming back with this home away format after a very long time. Nature of the decks, like Delhi's deck has changed. Bangalore,
Mm,
because of the irrigation system, the pitch has become drier.
yeah,
And
and Chepauk's 200 play 200, so that's great. How crazy it was.
yeah, and the freak ones like Guwahati, right, where not
Mm,
much
mm, mm,
information is available
mm,
and not many games being played there, and you
mm,
have those small black boxes, and to kind of navigate all that through. And today we are just I think the 10th day of the IPL, or the 11th day
mm,
of IPL, and it's still a long tournament, right? We still have at least 60 more games to go.
mm,
So having come to this level of improved understanding of changing circumstances, it's not only that, it's also player form,
mm,
what you expected them to come into IPL with and how they're performing, and then injuries, and then how it's been impacting the composition of the team. Like for example, Hardik Pandya, injury, right? You would not expect
mm.
that at all, right? So it's one of those predictions that GT would beat KKR, something that went south. But it's but it's out of the blue. It's one of those freak chances that Yash Dayal goes for 5 sixes to
But
Delhi
but
Snake.
the good thing with respect to that prediction was we had asked our subscribers to cash out after the end of 17th over because we knew that there's something kind of freak things happen. So as soon as Rashid Khan finished this over, we had brought down the odds down to 1.03. After that, we asked our subscribers to cash out of it. So they ended up in profit.
Yeah, that's exactly I want to talk about. So this is the standard pack. So what the data that we go through pre-show, we go through an Excel
Mm,
file and we go through a match pack.
mm,
So that's the thought process and the research that's been condensed and presented in a consumable fashion for a common cricket fan like me. But on top of that, this exact team 11 and the vice captain options are given to you right
mm.
after the toss. Using that combination is how these subscribers have won money in the
Yeah,
last few games. So that's just cost 249 rupees a month, and
yeah.
then you
It's, mm, it's a
40,000 rupees a
mm,
day. That's amazing.
mm. Yeah, it's a 349 though because of the IPL season now, but yeah, it's still a great value for what we provide in return.
And that's a monthly pack, or you can buy that as an yearly pack.
Yeah, the
So
yearly pack is like it's if you paid 349 for 12, you'll basically being 4,000 for the year. But when you get it as a yearly pack, you're going to get it for 1,999 now. So it's basically 50% of what you'd be paying as a monthly subscriber.
yeah, and most subscribers, they recover the money in one day, on one game.
Yeah.
So I mean, not just to recover the money in this case. Let's say you paid 1,999, and then you take the yearly pack and you make 40,000 rupees. That's 20 times ROI in one day. So, and the a premium pack is where you covers
I,
off.
I'll just go on mute and hear the pitch report because this has played an important role for us.
Sure.
Meters, shorter but two square boundaries, a little bit bigger that side, 70 meters down the ground, 73 and
Yeah.
Great. So what does the pitch report say?
So basically, Morris has said, ask ballers to bang the deck.
Okay, that will be an interesting game to watch. So we'll just wrap it up. I know your toss and the 11 is coming up. So, but if you're watching from Crazy John's or Silly Point, Farsi Cricketers Twitter handle, and then if you follow the link available there and subscribe to the yearly pack, so up to first 50 subscribers, they get the yearly pack converted to lifetime.
Yeah.
So that's the other information I wanted to share. And quickly jumping onto Exchange 22. So the premium pack covers, like you spoke about, how for your subscribers, you advise them to cash out. So post the toss, predictions, and the hand holding part of when to cash out, when to continue to invest. Those inputs are given for the premium subscribers.
Yeah, all of these are slowly starting to pick up, and I think there are plenty of calls going out today. Our team is basically waiting for the toss to give out those calls. I think there are three of them today on Exchange 22. So we are stepping up. Yeah, so we've been slow to start of with. Some of the features that we announced have picked up like crazy, but some of the others have not. But we have started to step up all of these from today.
And there are only so many numbers of premium packs are available, maybe less than 100 left now. So again, go to coversof.ai if you
Yeah.
want to invest at Exchange 22,
Mm.
Radio, Sixer, or some of the formats that have been covered under the premium pack. And
Yeah.
also predictions, like we spoke about how the Gujarat Titans thing is the only thing that went south. But look at the other predictions, and again, giving the predictions, again, continuing to provide the support on the Telegram channel. On for example, like we again we just recently spoke about that, asking to cash out. I mean, that's something as an investor, you're so lost in the game, and you need that trigger. You need somebody to give you that nudge
Yeah,
to kind of minimize your losses.
yeah,
So, and these are the only options, not the only options. You also have covers off. There's so many different way. Covers off help subscribers make money. This is FanX, right? So you go to fanex.in to download the app, and in yesterday's contest, the total prize pool was 14,000 rupees. And Virat, I think Virat had again won before. He won 5,656. He's the first prize winner. Congratulations, Virat. And he made good picks. Wayne Parnell, Faf du Plessis for boundaries, and Glenn Maxwell for sixes. I think that's very well played. A good exhibition of game of skill right there by Virat. Congratulations. So just download the app. You can also win these cash prizes. So go to Fanex, fanex.in, and download the app. You get 500 free coins, and using those coins, you can join contests and win cash, or you can deposit cash and then start joining super contests. So the prize pool that's sponsored by FanX is 10,000 rupees, and for every user who joins this contest by paying 100 rupees, the prize pool grows. So for every 100 rupees the contest a new player comes in, the price pool increases by 90 rupees. And so far we have the price pool of 12,340. Yesterday I think it was about 14,500. So what are the today's picks? You just have to make it's a very fun and easy way to play fantasy. So dot balls, who's your pick today? Andrik Nokia. So is the pick made for the dot balls for runs scored. It is David Warner. Hopefully he increases that pace. He's been come under some criticism for his strike rate. Just 115 odd. The Virendra Sehwag has gone out and said he really needs to pick up that pace. Even though I think he's the purple cap holder, uh, he's been having challenges with the strike rate. Henrik Nokia again for the number of wickets. So that's it, right? You just make these three picks, and then you join the contest. So once you join the contest, it will be on the upcoming tab, and once the contest goes live, it will be in the live tab. So good luck. As the app says, wish you good luck, but it's a game of skill. So, and Andrik Nokia, we spoke about how you'll get assistance in this deck. So that's a good pick. And also David Warner is an interesting one. So I think you want to still play that sheet anchor innings. I think we lost Al there. I think yeah. So that's the end of the show. Like we were talking about David. Nice coming back. David Warner could still play one of those innings, and then have expect his team to bat around him. So he would be hopefully getting on a good score, but at a higher strike rate. So he's definitely capable of that. So yeah, enjoy everyone. Have a watch the IPL game and have fun and subscribe to Covers Off. And this way you can earn money following your favorite sport. And good luck with that. Thank you.